Here's something most people won't admit. We're all searching for something bigger than our daily problems. Today's question is about spirituality and whether you're religious, spiritual, or a complete skeptic. This affects your happiness far more than you think. Now, before we dive in, let me be clear about what I mean by spirituality, because I'm not here to preach to you or to convert you. When I talk about spirituality, I'm talking about that connection to something beyond yourself and your immediate world. Maybe that's God. Maybe it's the universe. Maybe it's nature or humanity as a whole. Or, I don't know, just the idea that there's something out there bigger than you, something beyond paying your bills and watching Netflix. Over the years, and especially through some of the tougher times in my life, I've noticed something. When I felt connected to something bigger than myself, something beyond just my daily worries, I found a sense of calmness. It keeps me centered. So let me share with you what I've learned and why it matters. Something that's become really obvious to me of late is that I have better relationships. So before I got married and was in a really proper relationship, I had an idea that my wife would be kind of an accessory to my life. Maybe my single life would change a little bit, but my life wouldn't change all that much. And boy, oh boy, having a change of attitude and a change of thinking about that over these last half a dozen years, it's really made me understand what a proper relationship is supposed to look like. Before I got married, I was kind of a hothead. I didn't go off at a drop of a hat, but when I got worked up enough, I was seeing red, and I yelled a lot, I swore a lot, I was very agitated. And since I got married, my wife, she's really been on my ass about this. She's like, keep calm, stay controlled. There's no need to get so agitated and so worked up. Relax, speak nicely, speak calmly, breathe. There's no need to yell. And for the first few years, I would tell her that, no, this is who I am. This is how I release my thoughts. This is how I let go of whatever it is that's got me worked up. If I don't get it out of me, it's just going to fester and I'm going to be thinking about it. Let me get it out, because by the time I get it out, I've moved on from it. Just let me release it. And she was very patient with me. She allowed me to do that. Well, when I say allowed, she didn't really allow me, but every time it happened, after it, she would come and say, look, you need to work on this. This is something that I don't like. This is not good for us. I understand that it's good for you, or you think it's good for you, but it's not good for us, and it's not good for me, and eventually I'm going to get sick of it. And the more I started to realize or come to terms with the fact that there is something out there bigger than me, I was then allowed to let go of my ego. I become less self-important. So before that, I believed that I was vastly intelligent because I did an IQ test and I scored a 131 on it. And I was like, yeah, see, I'm not dumb, I'm smart. All those teachers at school who told me that I would never amount to anything, pretty well much, fuck you. Because I'm smart. I'm actually highly intelligent. But what I was, yes, okay, I was highly intelligent, but I had no wisdom. And that boosted my ego. And the bigger my ego got, the more selfish I become. And it was all about me. But over the last period of time, I've really let that ego go. I spoke about it in my last video about I was self-conscious, and that all had something to do with ego, that I wanted to portray myself as something else, that I needed other people to see how intelligent I was, how good I actually am. Now I've let that ego go. And I tell you, I hardly ever yell. Yes, I still get worked up every now and again. Something has to push my buttons really good, but I do get worked up. But they are few and far between. And I honestly can't remember the last time my wife and I had a fight, because I've realized that what she's saying has validation. What she is talking about, she has her point of view, and it's also true. So I'm no longer fighting with my wife to be right. It's about coming to a common goal. And what helped me get there was something I heard, was something along the lines of a conversation doesn't end until two people are in agreement. If you leave still thinking that you're right or you haven't got your point across, then the conversation hasn't ended. So I try and keep that in mind. And because I'm like, well, how important am I? I'm not that important. Why am I not important? Because, you know, look around me. I didn't create any of this. So how important am I? I'm not. So I sort of have come to that conclusion that by me relaxing and believing in more than me, that I now have a pretty damn good relationship with my wife and my family, for that matter of fact. But more, I'm going to talk about my wife because she's the most important person in my life. It also helps that because I'm now a willing learner and I'm no longer a teacher, that I'm no longer trying to tell others how to do shit. I can now have conversations and hear what's being said. And that's the key. Become a good listener, which is fitting because my next point is I feel much healthier mentally. And it has, when you let go of your ego, when you realize that the world is a bigger place than just you, and you stop sweating the little things, you allow that negativity to flow away in your own head. I very rarely worry about anything now. I definitely am not getting all worked up about what I see on social media or what the mainstream media is saying or doing or any of that stuff. Why? Because it doesn't really matter. It does not matter to me. I don't care what the politicians are saying. At the end of the day, whatever they say or whatever laws they bring in, I have to work out a way to deal with it. But if I'm still worked up on how angry and how hard done I am, or how hard done by I am, I'm never going to start focusing on the solutions. And because now that I feel healthier in the mind, I'm more solution focused than problem focused. So when you let go of your own self importance and you start to focus on solutions instead of the problem, you are filled with much more positive thoughts. And having positive thoughts and actually feel like you're getting somewhere is a huge benefit to your mental health. Which moves me on to the next point, building social connections. When you stop believing that you're the most important person in the room, when you give all that up, people seem to be more drawn to you other than staring at you in awe or looking at you from a distance thinking, look at this fucking wanker. Like, now that I don't feel that self-importance, I'm actually walking into the room feeling 10 foot tall instead of trying to portray that I am 10 foot tall. I'm not trying to do it no more. I just walk in with a much more confident, I don't know what's the word there, but I just walk in with much more confidence into a room with much more confidence. And I've noticed more people coming and approaching me and talking to me. And at first it was a bit weird to me. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, most people in the past, people really haven't come running up to me, but now I seem to be attracting more people. And I'm actually able to hold those people a lot closer to me because I engage in active listening. I'm actually more interested in them than telling my own story. Before, I used to get the shits because I'd start speaking and then someone would speak over me or not let me finish my thought. And it used to piss me off to no end. I'd be like, fucking hell, I'm trying to say something here and you can't even fucking wait 5 minutes till I finish my story. Like, fuck you. And that's how I was. But now, if somebody interrupts, I'm still listening. I'm like, okay. And that all, again, comes back to because I now understand I'm only a dot. I'm not that important. What I have to say is probably not even all that important. So why is it bothering me? It doesn't. And it's just funny how it works. I can't explain it properly. There's probably smarter people out there that can explain this way better than I can. But when you are small, you actually become a giant. People can feel that confidence and are attracted to you, which helps with our next one, coping with challenges. You ever notice, like, the harder something is, more people yell? Maybe you're like that. I used to be like that. I'd be throwing shit left, right, and center. I'd be like, fuck this is, and like just start like going to town and throwing my hands up, like, fuck it. This is fucked. I don't want to fucking do it. Break it, walk away from it, swear at everybody, tell everybody how bad it is and how hard it is and it sucks. It's not my fault. All that type of rubbish. And guess what? At the end of it, it was still there. That challenge was still there to be tackled. And all I'd done is wasted time and got nowhere with it. Just made myself angry. I remember sitting on my digger back when I was coal mining, and some truckies were just useless and they could not get it right. And I'd be sitting up there in all alone in my digger, absolutely just yelling and calling them every name under the sun, under my, just made my whole day feel like it went for a week. And then by the time the shift ended, I'd go home and I was exhausted. I was more exhausted mentally than I was physically. And after a period of time, about 10 years actually, I was burned out. I just couldn't do it no more. I wanted off. I wanted out. Didn't matter how much money I was earning. I was like, I just can't do this anymore. I cannot take another second of it. But I know if I went back tomorrow with the attitude that I have now and how I go about things, I could do it. Not a problem. And I could go to work happy and spend all day there and come home and still want to go and do stuff because I wouldn't be mentally tired because it's just not worth it. Challenges come along. It goes back to, like I was saying earlier, about being a problem solver. And that's all a challenge is. It's about flipping that switch instead of seeing it as a challenge. Well, this is a problem that I need to solve. And what's the best way to solve a problem? Having a clear mind. And again, it all comes back to I'm not the most important person in the world. Once I've overcome that issue, what problems do you actually have? They're very little, insignificant problems. So when you stay calm, you'll see solutions, not problems. And if you have no problems, then this next one won't be a problem either because it's physical health. When you're a happy person, you seem physically fine. When you're a negative person and when you have many problems that you're facing, what happens? Oh, my shoulder's sore. Oh, I don't feel real well. Oh, you're always in pain. There's always something going wrong with you. You're more busted up than, I don't even know how to describe it, but you're very busted up. Every day there's something going wrong with you. You've got the sniffles, you've got a headache, you got, like I said, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, oh, stomach problems, like all sorts of problems. And when you have those, you're generally not a happy person. And then you don't really, you're kind of looking for sympathy. You're looking for other people to, like, sort of, oh, that's no good. I'm sorry that you have all this. It must be terrible for you, the pain that you're always in. But you look at those people that are running around, they're happy, they're always smiling, cracking jokes and having fun. They don't seem to have those problems. They might not look the most fittest person in the world, but they also don't seem to do much complaining, and they don't seem to have many like complaints. They say, yeah, I feel good. And I can actually agree with it, because I was going through a stage there, like, oh, my shoulder, it was so bad, and then it was in my elbow. I've had surgery on both my knees, not replacements, two full knee reconstructions on both knees, back problems where I can't stand up straight. I had all those things, but I was also carrying around a lot of stress with me, and I was trying to put on a brave face by saying, I'm not that sore, but I was in a lot of pain. Oh, there was other things too, like I was watching mainstream media. I was getting angry at social media, like looking at people and just going, you're a fucking idiot. Can't believe that you're fucking got all these followers, you know. Why are people so stupid? Like, that was the type of attitude and mental state that I was in. Like, it was pretty well much, fuck everybody. Everybody's fucking stupid. And it made me angry. At first it made me sad, but then it made me angry. And I'm going to keep harping on it. You've probably heard me say it half a dozen times already. It was all because of my self-importance. I was an important person in my own lunchbox anyway. And as soon as I dropped the ego and started believing in something bigger than me, now I call it many different things. I sometimes will say God, sometimes I'll say the universe. One thing I'll never say is religion, because I don't believe in religion. I think that's not what we're supposed to do here. But I do believe in something bigger than me. And as soon as I started believing in it, and I'd wake up each morning, and first thing I'd do was smile and say, thank fuck I'm alive. I'm so happy that I woke up this morning. This is fucking great. Today's going to be a great day. Go and make a cup of coffee, go and sit out in the sun, happy as Larry. And that's how I start my day. And you know what? After doing this for just a couple of weeks, our wifey asked me, how's the shoulder? And I was like, yeah, tell you the truth, it's pretty good. I don't feel any problems with it. I can, yeah, I actually don't feel anything. And she's like, something else is different about you. And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, yeah, you seem happy. And I'm like, I am happy. She said, why are you happy? I said, I don't know. I said, I think it's because I no longer care. Like, uh, people take that word and that phrase as something that it's not. But the truth is that I'm just not sweating anything. Like, it's okay. Whatever comes my way, I'll deal with it. If it's bad, it's not going to stay bad forever. I have this saying of, this too shall pass, kind of a play on the old Lord of the Rings, you shall not pass. Well, this too shall pass. Whatever it is, this too shall pass. If my shoulder does play up, it's like, yeah, well, this too shall pass. It's not going to stay like this forever. Soon enough, it's gone, feeling good again. So that's why I believe in spirituality. That's why I've surrendered myself to something bigger than just myself. I no longer have to be the smartest man in the room. I no longer have to speak the loudest. I no longer have to be the only point of view that is worth listening to. And that's all because I just accept that I'm just a small part of something much bigger. And that's when life got good. And as I said, I'm still learning it. Sometimes I get carried away and I lose it. But it's all about coming back to it. It's like, idiot, what are you doing? You're getting all worked up about something for nothing. It's not good for you, buddy. Knock it off. And because I've been doing so much study over especially the last year, I've learned how to do. This too shall pass. Don't hold on to things for too long. And this is what Thursdays are for. Your questions, your topics. So drop your questions in the comments below and I'll answer them next Thursday. And if you want more content like this, Monday I'm starting a series about the brutal realities of YouTube that nobody talks about. Just everybody talks about them, but for this sakes, nobody talks about. So watch my videos. And thanks for the questions, and I'll see you in the next one.